Hey Dragon Slayers. So today's video is about how to fast like a girl, the story of LeAnn Rimes, part 1. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel out. Let's get started. When it comes to the story of her hormones, she doesn't even really know where to begin. She hit puberty at 10 years old and was on the road to touring by the time she was 13. Each and every cycle, she would experience severe pain, heavy bleeding, and lots of inflammation. Every part of her body would experience swelling, including her vocal cords, which led to many hospital visits and canceled shows. By her early 20s, she was on a regime of continuous birth control that was recommended by her gynecologist. Instead of taking the sugar pills in the birth control packet, she would start another pack of pills right away. No period at all meant no inflammation and no canceled shows. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Then one day, after almost 2 decades of suspending her natural cycles, her body decided it wanted to return to its cyclical rhythm. She had undergone a lot of spiritual growth by that point, which enabled her to listen to her gut and her ovaries. They told her that it was time to face whatever she had been running from for all those years and allow her body to express what it needed to express. Interestingly enough, her body decided in December of 2019, just 3 months before they all retreated into their homes because of the pandemic. She was worried about all of those years of losing her livelihood that was about to actually happen, but did not in any way know what to expect. She'd like to think that her body and soul were in tune and what was coming from them that she could possibly know and choose if she could return home to herself. Since allowing her body to return to its natural cycles, the journey back to her instinctive rhythms felt at times like pulling teeth without having any Novocain. But it has been necessary to discover the fullest expression of her feminine power, to the fullest expression of her voice. You'd think that as a woman who has had music coursing through her veins from since the time she was born, rhythm and flow would come easily to her. But to keep up with the patriarchal system of constant production and achievement, she lost touch with the most important rhythm of all, her body's innate natural rhythm. She would venture to say that most of all of us and in our bodies and souls are whispering or maybe even screaming for us to come back home. And for some of us, like her, the homecoming is a little less of a return and more like landing the center of her truest self for the first time ever. One day, when she was driving down the freeway in Southern California, listening to a podcast in which she heard Dr. Mindy Pelz on a panel with 3 other doctors discussing health and wellness within the treacherous times we are currently living. Something about Mindy's energy jumped out at her. She was passionate, wise, funny, heart-centered, and seemed genuinely nurturing. LeAnn Rimes' inner voice whispered, "You must meet her." But at that moment, she didn't know why. Instead, she scooped up the book Menopause Reset. At the time, she was a 40-year-old woman headed into, if not already in, premenopause. She had begun reluctantly to think more and more about the upcoming transition from fertile Myrtle to, well, part of life that everyone tells you is going to be miserable. The part where you bite everyone's head off, have hot flashes, and start to lose your mind. LeAnn Rimes didn't want her 40s to go down like that, but how could she avoid it? This is what she was taught was the experience for every woman. Now, that's what I've got for you guys today. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel out. And remember, guys, that together, you and I will slay the dreaded diabetes dragon.